Hi, and welcome to Graphic Card Repairs. So today we have an RTX 4090. This is a Zotac 4090. Sorry, the PNY 4090. And the issue with this card is that the customer says that there is no display. Now the customer was not using any bracket with this card, so you can see that the card is nice and thick, and it's a very heavy card. Not using a bracket with a card like this can cause a lot of display problems, and I suppose this is one of them. So the customer says there is no display, there's nothing, no output from this particular card, but the computer, he says that it boots into a kind of a loop. Uh, so I suppose that what he meant to say is that this card is probably stuck on something like an error code B2. So if your motherboard has a postcode, it will post an error B2. So we'll check if that's the case. I'll put this card on my bench and see if I get the same error. So I'll quickly pause the video here and put the card on the bench. Okay, so I have gone ahead and put the card on the bench. Let's start the card up and check what's the error that we get. Starting the card up now. Okay, so there you go, the error code B2, and it's stuck on post. And there is no display. So this is a typical error where either the solder balls break under the memory, or the solder balls break under the the GPU core. So what I will do is switch to the internal display and run MATS or MODS and NVMT and check under which memory we get these kind of errors. So I'll quickly pause the video, switch to the internal display and continue from there. Okay, so I have switched over to the internal display, starting the card up now. What you see now is from the internal display. So I will first check and see if the card is detected or it's listed. And I can see that NVIDIA is showing listed here. So now I will run MATS. Okay, looks like MATS is not listed in this directory, but that's okay. I will run mods. Okay, mods doesn't show me any kind of an error. Let me run NVMT. Okay, so this is the log report for the NVMT. Let's take a look at what we are missing. The channel A0 is fine, A1 is showing fine. Let's take the scroll down. Okay, so we have problems with channel F1. Okay, so if you can see, this is F1 and we have issues with channel F1. Let's take a look down and it's right at the end where we get the error there. Let's scroll down. Okay, so there you go, channel F1. So channel F1 is a culprit. So we may have to take a look as to why, or probably we might have broken pads underneath, or or so broken solder balls. So either way, we'll have to take a look at channel F1. So if it's not underneath the memory, then it will be the GPU core. So either way, we will have to lift the memory first, and if from there, after installing the memory back, if everything is all and good, then we will have to lift the GPU core. Okay, so we know it's channel F1, so I'll just pause the video here. I'll power this off, and I'll switch over to my workbench. Okay, so we have channel F1, which is faulty. So we'll take a look at the memories. Okay, so to start off, this is A1, A0, B1, B0, C1, C0, D1, D0, E1, E0, F1, and F0. So F1 is here. This is F1. So let's take a look under the microscope. Okay, so this is F1. So I see that there is some kind of a liquid like flux, which is already in here. I think this card is already worked on before. That's what I feel, because there's flux all over. So this is flux. So probably the customer may have given this card to someone before. So the card which the chip which is faulty is this one, and let's take a look. So the card is not looking as clean as it should be, like as if it has been worked on before. So you can see stain marks here and flux here. So this is definitely flux. Okay, so we'll take a look as to what exactly is wrong. So let's take a look at the back of the card. Let's see if there's anything missing. Okay, one, there is this capacitor which is not soldered properly, and it was touching this one. So I will have to solder this one. And that capacitor is connected to, so this capacitor is for F1 and this capacitor is for F0. So F1 was connected to F0. It could be that might be the problem. So is it going to be as simple as that? We'll take a look. So first, let me solder this part. So this side is not ground, but this side is. This side is ground, this side is not. So I get about 19 ohms. That's because the board is still hot. the chip has been installed. I'll just wait for the board to cool down, and once it cools down, then we'll take some measurements and run NVMT again. So I'll just pause the video here and wait for the board to cool down. Okay, so the card has cooled down. Let's take measurement and check. Let me switch over. Okay, so let's take some measurement and check memory. Okay, so we don't have a short, about 42 ohms, which is good enough. The board is slightly warm, but it's good enough to be tested. So I'll quickly put it on the bench and show you the image from there. Okay, so I have put the card on the bench and the test bench, and let's boot the card up. So I have connected the HDMI cable directly to the card. Let's see if it boots up this time. Okay, and this time we have a picture. Okay, so it will switch to the internal display, but you won't be able to see. But I'll quickly run NVMT, or let me change the camera. I'll just pause and change the camera so that the camera, I'll focus it on the monitor. Okay, so I'm just focusing it on the monitor. Let me enlarge it. Okay, so let me switch to NVMT straight away. Okay, so let's take a look at the errors. So we had an error on F1 before, and let's take a look. Okay, so if you see here, there are no errors on F1. Let me, it's a little bit shaky. Let me try to make it, get it stable. Let me scroll down, and we don't have any warnings either. So our F1 is completely okay. No errors whatsoever. So our card is fixed. So probably it was just broken solder pads, solder balls underneath the memory, and that was it. So I'll turn the card off right now, install the cooler, boot into Windows, and I'll show you the picture from the card. We'll do a stress test and see if everything is stable. So I'll turn the thing off right now. Okay, so the card has been installed on the test bench. Let's boot it up. And we have an image. Booting into Windows. Let's see if we can open Device Manager and load the drivers. Looks like the drivers have installed. Let's take a look if everything is okay. And yes, it is. So the drivers have installed successfully. Let's, we don't need this. Let's open GPU Z. Okay, so all information is filled up, which is good. Let's take a look at the sensors. And it's reading all the sensors. Okay, so let's run a couple of stress tests. So I'm going to run Heavens, Valley, and also FurMark all together. Close this up. So I'll just wait for Heavens and FurMark to open up. Come on. Is it going to load? Okay, it looks like it didn't do anything. Let's try it again. We have Heavens. I think we will close this one up. That's gone. We'll put this one here and we'll run FurMark 2. So FurMark, Valley, and Heavens, they're all running together. Let's take a look at the temperature. The temperature is nice and stable. So I think we can call this a fix. There were broken pads, broken solder balls underneath the memory, and there was a capacitor that had broken off. So we fixed that capacitor, but somehow it was not the cause of the problem. But after we reballed the memory F1, we have a fix. So sometimes when you don't use a bracket, that's it. A heavy card like this would bend or flex the PCB, and in turn breaks solder joints, or sometimes even rips off pads underneath the memory and the GPU core. My advice, anyone using a 30 series or in a 40 series card, is to use a support bracket. A support bracket would really save you your graphic card, and you won't have to send it for repairs like this. So that's about it. I hope you like this video. If you do like it, please hit the like button. You can leave your comments, and I will make sure that I respond to your comments. And please share and subscribe as well. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye for now.